We are here for seamless communication. We are going to talk about OMS and focus specifically on the broadcasting, digital signage, and alerts. We're going to highlight the broadcasting capabilities. We're going to talk about real-time broadcasting versus scheduling. And then we will discuss some of the media options, templates. The scheduling portion is going to be really important. Some of those fun hotkeys, and then that CAP integration.
Yeah, thanks so much, Carlene. OMS, what is OMS? Optoma Management Suite, or OMS, is Optima's display management solution. With OMS, you can monitor, diagnose, control, and manage your entire fleet of displays from a single interface. OMS also functions as a simple digital signage system, and we've already formed a partnership with Raptor Technologies to implement cloud integration with their platform, and we are working to integrate others. OMS comes in two flavors. There is OMS Local and OMS Cloud. OMS Local is PC software. You install it on a machine that runs on the local network at your corporate space or school, and the system is PC software. It's limited to the local network. OMS Cloud, on the other hand, is a web interface. You log onto the website, you log into your account, and all your displays are tied to your account, and through that website interface, you access all the functions and features. We'll just give you a very brief overview of kind of what you're looking at and where you go to access different features, and then we'll dive into the digital signage and broadcast capabilities. So up on the top right here, I have utility buttons. I've got my account. I can go in and see information about my account. I can go in and change system settings. I've also got some buttons to access help and other similar features. On the left side are the main function tabs. In the center of the screen is your main control panel, basically. So when I choose a function tab on the left, the main portion of the screen is taken over with the interface for that. OMS is powerful. There's a lot you can do with it. You know, all the things we talked about and are going to show you. But it doesn't mean it's complicated to use. It's actually simple. The button naming, you know, all the functions are sort of intuitive. You want to do signage, jump down to the signage tab, and you want to broadcast, go to broadcast, and you'll be off to the races. Let's go ahead and just start by sending out a broadcast message. So in fact, I will broadcast this to a group of devices. We've made a group called All, and in this group is the display behind me in my office and Carlene's display in her office. I'm going to send this broadcast message to this group. I can send a couple different types of messages, right? I can send text messages or media messages. Text messages just come up with a simple interface where I could type something like Jane Doe, please report to the nurse's office. I think I misspelled something in there, or did I not? Okay. And you get a preview, and you see I have to paginate this a little differently. I can drop this down to the next line so that it displays properly. And you also have options to turn this into scrolling. You can change the text size if I want this to be larger text. And as you change the size of the text, it changes your character limits and how many characters fit on each row. You can change the banner position. I'll just do this in the middle. And you can also change the text color and background color. So if I go with like a yellow background color, it recommends that I use blue for contrast. I'll go ahead and go with that recommendation. And I can choose a duration for this message. It's going to display for 30 seconds. I can choose hours, minutes, seconds. And forced broadcast mode, that's going to determine whether or not the user can clear the message. So if I leave that box unchecked, when the message comes up, Carlene will be able to clear the message by just touching the screen and hitting a little X icon. But if I were to enable that, it would force the user to be locked into viewing that for the entire duration set. But I'm just going to go ahead and click send, and there it is. But there's a quick way you can send text messages. And as we demonstrated, you can send it to a single device, a group of devices, or a specific location. Say, for example, you're a statewide school district. You could target a geographic location like, you know, Brunswick County could be the target for the message. But let's change this back to group, and I'll go to all again. And we'll confirm that. And let's try a media message. You can send images. We support JPEG as well as PNG. Videos we'll talk about a little more. You can also push YouTube links directly to the panels or displays. OMS is compatible with all our display solutions, all Optoma's display solution categories. The specific functionality varies on the device type. As I was saying, let's just display a test image here. We're going to select a file, and these are all images that I've previously uploaded. Let's do this lab safety example. I like this. We are going to make it a full screen image, again for 30 seconds, and I'm going to hit the go button, and that is going to push through the cloud to the group of displays, and there our boards are being taken over with that lab safety message. The Canva integration is another really useful feature. This is really powerful. Essentially, you develop your signage or your content in the Canva website. They offer a free account option, so if you haven't used Canva, would encourage you for many different reasons. You set up the content in Canva, you publish the content in Canva, and Canva spits out a link that you basically paste into the OMS system. And yeah, it loads a preview. Again, we'll display this for 30 seconds. I'm going to hit the button, and we're going to be any second now pushing that Canva content to our panels. So there's a quick overview of what you can do in terms of instant broadcast messaging. And there's a lot more advanced functions that we're going to get into momentarily.
One of the benefits of this that is really nice with Canva is that live link. So what happens is, if the digital signage is pushed out from this platform, then we have to have the people who are doing the digital signage in the platform, right? Well, that's not actually the case. The good news is because Canva can be published live from the account, all they have to do is share the link with whoever's managing OMS. So you can maintain IT only access to the actual account and kind of set it and forget it as far as the digital signage, and they can manage it on their ends. Once it's set up and queued and scheduled the first time, any changes made will take effect the next time that the signage takes over.
Let's jump into the media tab quickly. The significance of the media tab is that when I use my laptop or my iPad and I tell the OMS system that I want to send a broadcast message, the content is not being pushed from that laptop or from the iPad. It all starts in this media category tab, and I'm going to upload here all my content. Here's where you basically upload all your assets. And quickly, if I go to the Add tab, I can either add media or add via URL. You can upload images, PNG files, JPEG files. You can upload videos. Those would be an MP4 format. You can also upload audio files, MP3 format, to accompany slideshows, for example. Like if you wanted a photo slideshow to play as a signage piece, but you wanted to add a soundtrack, you can upload those audio files. You can upload Canva templates. You can upload YouTube links. You can also upload web images. The URL option lets you basically add a web URL. So if there's an image that lives on the internet, and it's basically a link to a JPEG or a PNG file, for example, on your school or on your business's home web page, you have an image that you update regularly, or the webmaster updates it. Say upload that URL of where that image lives on the website, and then as it updates on your website, those changes to your content automatically update the signage that's being displayed. I think the only thing I've missed is an RSS feed. RSS feeds are basically simple text outputs. They're generally news, that sort of thing, to add to your signage. And you'll see when we get to the templates tab why that would be particularly appropriate. For now, understand that you basically take all your signage content and you upload it into the platform. So once you've uploaded all your content, you'll notice that when you go into the broadcast tab, for example, and go to media and image, when I go to select file, it is actually giving me the list of all the image files that have been uploaded into my account. right? And this makes it very easy to use for a number of reasons. You're not tied to having the content on your laptop. It's already uploaded to the cloud. Anybody can access it, or anybody who you've given access to the OMS system can utilize all the content. The other thing I wanted to point out in the media tab, you'll notice that there's media where you upload all your images, but there's also a playlist tab. This is where you would essentially create, for example, a photo slideshow. So if I've already created a photo playlist, I'm going to go to edit, and you'll see here all the images that I've dropped in here. And you'll also notice that I've given them a play duration of 10 seconds. So there's the media tab and the playlist function. Let's talk about the templates function. If we go to add new, you'll see here that here are some of the layout options. And if I just show you an example of one we've already created, it'll probably make more sense. If I go in here to edit, here you'll see, for example, Carlene developed this content. I think it looks wonderful. Each of these, the banner at the top, the side calendar, and the center main content pane here, each of these is actually a separate image. And I can go in here and edit it and choose a different image if I want to. Once you've got the images uploaded here or selected and pinned to the different frames, I can also change this. So right now, where is it? The banner is on the top and the small content is on the left. I can change it to banner on the bottom, small content on the right, and it automatically flips around my configuration. Keep in mind that you cannot push this real time. There's no option in here to say, I want to send this to my boards now. That has to be done through the scheduling. So the only thing that gets pushed instantly are text messages, single image files. YouTube videos and Canva links can be pushed instantly. When it comes to these templates or signage playlists, like photo slideshows, basically, those do have to be set up in advance. You can also embed video files into the playlists, and if you were to try to push that instantly, the bandwidth of the internet connection between the cloud system and your device be fast enough to buffer the video properly. So what happens is when you set up a playlist, it actually downloads the content to the panel ahead of time, and then when the time arrives, it can play the content back perfectly and smoothly and cleanly because it's already been downloaded to the panel. So there's a reason for that, the way it's been implemented. If you go to add a schedule event, and I go into, I don't want this to be control. I want to send a signage template. And you also notice how you can schedule control events, system update events, as well as standard, I just want to broadcast a simple text message or image. You can schedule that as well. But if I choose template, I've pre-programmed it to display a template on both of our machines at 1225. But here in the schedule tab, this is going to happen once. It's going to happen at this date. You can choose a future date, and you choose the time it's going to start and the time it's going to end. And then I can go ahead and select one of my templates. I've just created a few of these simple examples here. I'm not going to do this again.
We do want to mention the difference between OMS Cloud and OMS Local. This is one of the features that is going to be part of the premium OMS Cloud versus that free local version.
So on the OMS Local, you can send images and text messages, but you only have the option to do it instantly. There's no scheduling function for media broadcast in OMS Local. So just to recap a little bit, basically you upload your media and you have all your media organized in the media tab. You can then turn it into playlists, or you can create templates, which then the playlists and templates get scheduled. And when it comes to just pushing an image up to the boards, you can do that real time or scheduled, right? So there's the basic flow we've gone over so far. The last couple topics I want to cover are the hotkeys and the alerts that you can send out, which we're going to access through this tab here. And I've developed a few of these hotkeys, and you see it says dashboard shortcut key here. You'll notice on my dashboard, I have these couple buttons up here, and when I hover over them, it gives me a preview. And these are basically pre-programmed alerts where as soon as you log on to the platform, right on your dashboard, you have the option of initiating these, and it even tells you where it's going to push to. You see under dismissal, it's only pushing to Roland's office. I believe the severe weather one I set up is pushing to all. If you choose to enable these buttons, they live right on your dashboard. Optoma has partnered with Raptor Technologies. Raptor is essentially an integrated school safety and security platform. They enable the emergency buttons on the wall and the lanyards around teachers' necks and integrate with automated text messages that get sent out. And Raptor does all sorts of things. I'm sure all the educators out there are familiar with what these school safety platforms do. Integrate with Raptor via CAP protocol or Common Alert Protocol. That's what CAP stands for. We plan on adding more. Coming soon, so stay tuned for that. But let's go ahead and set up a CAP message, and this is actually really very simple. You can either simply have the text come up, emergency message, or you can set up the multimedia aspect of it, where you go in and you pick an image that's going to display. Let's find something appropriate like this one, the severe weather alert. It's going to display this image. It's going to display it full screen. I'm going to lock it into forced broadcast, and I need to select the device. In a real world scenario, you would probably send this to a group, like all your devices in your school or business or corporate location, whatever the case is. But here I have it set up, and when I save it, OMS is going to generate these lines of code. And you then go into your Raptor platform and paste these lines of code into the appropriate locations within the Raptor interface, and it marries the two systems together. And the end result is that when an event occurs on the Raptor platform, whatever it is and however it's initiated, an event occurs, it tells the OMS system to make this broadcast event happen. And so it's powerful. It does a lot. There's a lot you can do with it, but it's not particularly difficult to implement once you're familiar, needless to say, with the Raptor side of things. So there is a brief overview of the signage and broadcast and communication capabilities of the OMS system.
All right. Did we have any questions really quick before we join? Oh, I do see one. Okay. I have lots of older projectors and I'm using Optoma Local and adding via IP address. Is it possible to get these older devices on OMS Cloud?
Yes is the answer. We sell what we call the Hive box. The model or the SKU on the Optoma price list is the OCH 100. It's basically it's an Android box that you would add to your existing displays, and once you add that OCH 100 or Hive box, you can use that to integrate with not just the OMS platform, our digital whiteboard, our display share application, which is our casting platform. So we offer that standalone box. You can add it to your existing projectors or existing digital signage displays. It gets added as a device in the system, just like our panel would be, and you can broadcast to that panel. You can essentially access all the features we've been talking about. I don't believe there are really any limitations that the IFP behind one of these IFPs can do that the OCH 100 cannot do in terms of the functions we're talking about. So yeah, there's your option right there, and thanks for the question.